So insulating the headliner is really not rocket science, but removing the headliner is the tricky part. So this music video explains how to do it without totally fudging it up. And make sure you watch until the end for 2 extra tips on how to do that. Removing the headliner is easy, like lemon squeezy. First thing to do is grab an ice cold brew and unscrew the sun visor with a simple tool. Place the visor someplace safe and out of the way. Okay, put the screws in the cup holder so they aren't misplaced. Then take out the center light console thing. There's a specific way to do it. You unhook the metal spring. People do it from the side. Don't do that. Don't do that. This tip will make you wanna subscribe. Do that. Do that. People do it from the side. Don't do that. Don't do that. This tip will make you wanna subscribe. Do that. Do that. Coming at it from the back with a blunt but a knife. Push the metal spring clips in until you get it right. Coming at it from the back with a blunt but a knife. Push the metal spring clips in until you get it right. And then unplug this one as well. Console is removed, unsnap those wires. This is a pain in the ass and leaves much to be desired. Keep on wiggling and jiggling, you're building your empire. If you didn't have this video, your van would be a dumpster fire. Wiggling and jiggling like clothes in a dryer. If you didn't have this video, your van would be a dumpster fire. We are finally getting closer to removing the shelf. Remove the 2 bolts on each side. You can do it yourself, but this next step is the trick to remove the plugs. When we're finished with this part, you will be giving me hugs. Okay, so now it's time to do the hardest part of this headliner removal. You need to pop off those plastic plugs that hide the final bolts up there. I've seen people use trim tools for this, but that didn't really work for me. We ended up using a box cutter, a razor blade. This was the thinnest, strongest tool we could find that wouldn't damage the plastic. It wouldn't leave tons of scratches and marks and stuff. Remember, this is where you sit a lot while you're in the van, and it would be super annoying if it's all marked up. So here's the trick in doing this right. Insert the blade at an angle. Those little plastic plugs are shaped with an angled edge. So don't shove the blade straight up, push it in from the side slowly, and really it'll just pop right out.
Because that's the key, is to go in at that angle.
Gotcha. Said makes a clean incision versus any other tool. Will just put pressure on the existing plastic. And then just pull off that plastic piece. I think they're flipping up. Now that the shelf is off, it is time to get busy. So if you take a look here on top of the headliner, here's the roof right here. Here's the headliner. You'll notice that there are 3 areas where there is a little plastic piece that hooks into that orange plug. And I've detached those already by just flexing the headliner so that I can push these toward the front of the vehicle and then slide those plugs out. I'm having trouble with the center one because if you notice, there is a black stopper that's going up. So I ended up just pulling the orange piece out of that hole, and these ones I unclipped. I slipped and unclipped those. This was actually pretty easy, so I would recommend just kind of popping them out of place. So here's another technical piece I want to explain to you. We bought closed cell adhesive foam from Alibaba. And if you're not familiar with Alibaba, it's China's version of Amazon. You can order goods directly from suppliers in China and then have them shipped directly to you. It usually takes a few weeks or even a month or 2, so you have to plan ahead when ordering through Alibaba. But as you can imagine, prices are cheap, and I mean like really cheap. It is starting to warm up, so I had to switch out of my sweatpants into my party pants. Then just go ahead and line the seats in that area with plastic so that you protect the dash, the steering wheel, the seats from any spray adhesive that might come down on it. Then get that, after you cut off the thin slit piece that you want, go ahead and shove it down in that headliner space pretty far, as far as you can. And I didn't put any spray adhesive on yet because I want to get my hands down there shoving the thin slit down as far as I could. And then I'm going to spray on the thin slit on the white part, then spray it on that cool sound deadening foam. Stick up the closed cell foam as your first warm layer, then get your insulate with your 3M blue sprayer. The thin slit as well. And there you go, yeah, push from the bottom up. Try to get it as flat as you can. If a little bit wrinkles, I mean, it's not the end of the earth. Get it as flat as you can. Push it all the way up. It sticks really nicely. Now I'm going to fill this pocket with thin slit. I doubt I'll even glue it. I'll probably just shove it down there. And then maybe put a nice layer right there to cover that. I'll do the same thing on the right-hand side. And I think I'll wrap it up from there. So there I stuffed the inside, and then I put another layer on top of that, so there's kind of almost like a double layer right there on both sides. Shoot, I figured I'd chuck off this whole headliner, may as well make it nice. Okay, now for the 2 tips. The first one, when you pull off those plastic plugs, put them in a place where you won't forget which one is which, because they all go in their own respective plug. And you'll see that there are different configurations. Show that one, yeah. And those go, so this one will go in this slot, and then the different configuration, the third, will go in that slot there.
There's also the spaces in between the slots are irregular, so it's pretty easy to know where to just slide it in.
Tip number 2, those little plastic pieces that you have to pull off to unscrew the visors, those are really fragile. You'll see a little spot where you can put maybe something really thin in to unhook it. Do your best to push in before you pull out. It's pretty easy to snap those or break them. We did on one of ours. Yes, you can replace it, but try not to break it. All right, lo and behold, we did break one. Look how this one's got that piece right there. And this other one over here, it doesn't have that anymore. This one does. And this one doesn't. Oh, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna do another one offline.
All right, subscribe to see more content as we go through our build series. Also, we'll be living in this van full time for a long time. We plan on going down to South America, all over the Americas, and then maybe even beyond. So subscribe if you want to continue to see our story. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.